Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for coming back, and as always, huge massive thank you for the support. I really do appreciate it. So I did say last time I was going to come back with the cute collection from the Christmas Blockbuster, and this one is called the Cutest Christmas Cuddles. So we've got loads of toppers on here. This is perfect for you guys, especially over in the States where you like to make this sort of smaller A2 cards, because you've got loads of toppers on here and sentiments. So we've got the two sort of larger ones, the two smaller ones. We've got a love you more every Christmas, festive wishes, Christmas cuddles, bear hugs from me to you. And then we've got these two sort of button toppers there with the gifts on. And then the foiled one is that sentiment along there as well, especially for you, from me to you. And then you've got all the foil and the foiled berries there. And then, of course, on the printed, you've got that cute little bear again with the tartan at the top. Love tartan at Christmas. I always think it looks super cool. Okay, I think I'm going to pop that one on the top. So today, let's bring in, for the first card, a piece of 6x12 300 GSM cardstock. And I thought I'd do a Dutch fold with this one today. So I haven't done one for a little while. I thought it might be fun. So I'm going to take this 6x12 piece in, and I'm going to cut it at 9 inches. And then I'm going to take this piece here, which should be 3 inches, and it is, and I'm going to cut that at 3.5. And what I've also got is, just from my little bit box there, I've got another piece that's 3.5 as well. And that one will go back into the bit box. So let's do this card, make this card assembled, and then we can start on the layers and things. So if I bring in my scoreboard, and these pieces, I'm going to put 3.5 across the top there, and then we're just going to score that at 3. I'm going to do the same on this one as well. So this is going to turn that into a 3x3 space. And then this bigger piece here, we're going to score at that 3-inch mark. And that's going to turn this back into a 6x6 card. Like so. So let's bring in my little burnisher. Give these all a good burnish down. There we go. Okay, so let's grab the red liner tape. And I'm just thinking about which way I want my glue to go, so that needs to go on the outside pieces. Let's grab those scissors and pop that on. And I will use some tacky glue as well, just, you know, belt and braces, both best of both worlds. Let's take that sticky off. Let's get it to leave me alone. And a little tip for you, if you have the red liner tape and you find that the tape sticks to you, I usually keep my little bits in a glass, you know, just a little glass. Well, it actually was a dessert dish, but the sticky backs, as long as it's a decent size, will stick to the glass. So if you're having problems with it leaving your hands, you know, there's a little suggestion for you. So what I'm going to do is just move that bit out of the way, just butt this up with the bottom of the card, fold that one over. So now we've got our like little barn door sort of thing there going on. And then I'm going to do the same with this one, just a little bit of tacky glue. Butt that up to the bottom of my card and fold that over. And that is going to be the card shape as it is, and obviously we're going to have our topper coming over the top. So let's grab the trimmer again. And I have forgotten one thing. Let me just grab that and sort this out. So Sorry, I'm going to be rustling. I'm going to be using, these were sent to me as part of the design team. It's the new Trim Me pad. So I want a gold foiled one. Let's see what we've got in the gold. Christmas blessings to one and all. It's the most wonderful time of the year. It's the season to be jolly. I think Christmas blessings to one and all. There we go. Just pop those back in there. And I should also mention as well, Hunkydory did send me this whole Blockbuster as part of the design team. So, you know, just so that you know, that's where it came from. I would have bought it if they hadn't have done. So I don't feel bad about crafting with it at all. Okay, so I'm going to take a 6x6 mirror mat and I'm just going to take 1/8 of an inch off 2 of those sides. There we go. And then that should fit into there quite nicely, and it's going to hide all those workings for me. And then this one here, we should just be able to trim this down to the 6x6 mark. So this, the brilliant thing about these trimmy pads is that on the back you've got all the guidelines for every sort of shape of card, or every size of card, I think, pretty much. So you can just find the guideline that fits for your card and then just trim away, and your sentiment on the other side will be in the center of the card. Obviously you don't have to use those if you don't want to, but it's a great help, I have to be honest. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I could have gone a little closer to the lines, but if I pop that back in, that is going to fray them. Now, what have I done with my little guillotine? Bear with me 2 seconds. Apologies, I just left that in the other room. So what I'm going to do is just take a little bit off 2 of the sides. Let's see, what's that like? Yeah, that's better. So that was just my fault. Just could have gone a bit closer. Could have gone right on the line and I would have been okay. But I didn't. Okay. So let's grab another 6x6 mirror mat. If you've got the insert as well, you could use that instead. I still haven't got the inserts yet. Okay, I will get them, but I haven't got them yet. So I'm going to take this one. I'm going to take a 1/8 of an inch off one of the sides. And then I'm going to take this to 1/8 or 2 notches under the 3, because the sizes we've got here are 3x6 and then we've got 2 3x3s on here, so that should fit quite nicely onto there, and it does. And then if I take this to 1/8 or 2 notches under the 3, and then the same again, so 2 notches under the 3, 2 notches under the 3. They should be the same size and they should fit quite nicely onto our little barn doors. Okay, so I'm going to start with the bigger piece, the printed cardstock rather, and I'm going to cut this at 5 3/4, and then I'm going to take 2 3/4 for that top piece, and then I have to decide whether I want a smaller sort of door that's going to go, I don't know if I can show you, yeah, or whether I want it to just go plain underneath. Just looking at the screen just to see which I prefer. I think it's going to make more sense if I do it plain. So I say plain, but it is pretty. It's got a pattern on. So I'm just going to take this to 2 3/4, and then I want 2 pieces of 2 3/4. That should be all we need to decorate the actual card itself. So let's pop that down and let's assemble. Avengers assemble. Okay. So the glues I'm going to be using, you've already seen the Cloud Tacky glue. Also going to be using the Cloud All-Purpose glue. I'm also going to be using the Dotty Tape pen. I do say it every time, but I do use 2 glues. Probably a bit of overkill, mainly just to make sure my video goes right than anything else, because both of those glues are fantastic videos. But what I do say is, if you have got a glue that works for you, then stick with it, because sometimes swapping things up is the start of a lot of problems, to be honest with you. Right, okay, so I've just put some dotty tapes, because this insert is on paper rather than a cardstock. I wouldn't advise using any type of PVA or water-based glues. You might get away with it if you pop it on super thin, or maybe dot it on and take it off, but a lot of the glues with the water content, they will make that paper sort of bubble up over time, and it can be really disheartening. But for the cardstock, what I do, just a little bit of that tacky in the corners, a little bit of all-purpose in the middle, and then we can just come in, pop that on, and again. So just keep on adding all of these little layers in. Now the card should fold up quite small to go in an envelope, but I always tend to have an envelope just a little bit bigger anyway. Just, oh my goodness, dropping everything. Just to give us that little bit of wiggle room, not wiggle room, that's what is wiggle room for, you know, height and things. So let's pop this on. I'll tell you about Geronimo while I'm doing this. So Geronimo is settling in really well. Henry scares him, so they I don't think will ever be friends. I think that goes that way. And Geronimo, whenever Henry barks, he takes off. He just runs, legs it. He did try and get behind the fridge the other day, trying to hide from him. Henry's not out, Henry's in his cage. So he's just purely barking from there, because, you know, obviously with what happened with the pigeon the other day, and Geronimo is not even the size of that pigeon. He is the smallest dog, puppy, we've ever had. We used to have Chihuahuas when I was a kid. I think I was about 5 when we were working out the other day, and but I don't remember how small they were. But this Geronimo is half Chihuahua, half Jack Russell. It's a Jackawawa, and he is a teeny, and he was a runt as well, so he is teeny tiny. He does get excited when he sees me or hears me, which is cute. And he does sleep on me quite a lot. A bit late starting the video today, just because he was asleep on me, and you know what they say about letting sleeping dogs lie, especially when it's a puppy. Okay, which one shall we go for? I think we'll go for this one here with this little tartan scarf on, because then it sort of matches in with that border. And if I can pop it out without sorry, excuse me, stitching it. I don't have to get my scissors now, we're moving now. So this one is going to be coming over that top piece. And then I think for a sentiment, I'll go with Love You More Every Christmas. Why not? Because it's the same there on that one. So we can pop that one down there. Then maybe take this one on the red and pop this somehow up there so it looks like they are. We'll figure that out in a second. But you can see there's loads on that one. And these could be on a smaller A2 card. Maybe with your little book, if you've got the Here Comes Christmas little book. And just have that as a sentiment over the whole topper. They would be perfect on your A2 size cards, I suspect. Okay, so let's pop this one out. I'm going to pop this down or secure this on first of all, and then we'll worry about these smaller ones. Right, let's pop these frames out. I think I'm going to leave a little bit of air in between. Keep that for another day. Now, do I need to just check those pips? Some of them are a bit proud. They are slightly easier to see from the back. Henry's a bit barky because it's raining. We haven't had rain for quite a while. But all the windows are open, so you can hear it sort of pitter-pattering down. Okay, so this frame has got 2 holly leaves, either top and bottom or left and right. I think I might go left and right with them. And what I'm going to do is just sort of centralise it, although when the card is standing, it kind of stands forward anyway. Let's pop some 2mm foam pads on. I'll be fine with these ones. So if I just go on each side from those holly leaves. So I don't want to put any glue on the bottom half because I don't want it to stick to that bottom half, because the card wouldn't open then, or it would all be one solid thing, and that's not the most useful card if you stick it all down, unless you're wanting to use it as a gift, you know, sort of to put a sort of gift card or something in, and you want them to actually rip the card to get into it. So I'm just going to pop that, go around about there. Got no foam pads showing on this side, that's what I'm aiming for, and you can see how it doesn't stick to anything there. And then if I just get a foam pad ready, pop that there, and I need to not go any lower than that. And I am going to put 4 pads on just because this is the sole support. This is the only thing holding this topper onto the card. So we do want it to stay in place. And then we can come in with our bear. If you are worried about getting this in the right position, what you can do is put that gold frame back in, then put this, not glue it, just pop it in, use this as a guide to put your topper on, but I think I'm going to be alright. Okay, so that's how that's looking at the moment. Now when this is on a shelf, it does kind of, difficult to show you, it does kind of open up a little and lean forward, so just so you know, that's the reason why we do keep things a little bit looser with it. So let's pop 3 on there and pop 2 on there. Probably a bit of overkill with 2, but that's going to be fine. Just take those backs off. And I think I'm going to need some red gems for this one. So we'll have a look for those in a second. So I'm going to come down around about there for that one. Let's just see where we want that to. Yeah, I'm going to go about mid there. Again, this purple glue stick, fantastic for these foam pads. It just gives the stick a bit of wiggle room time. So usually the foam pads, they grab so fast. If you're not quite in the right place, you've had it. But that purple glue stick does give you a little bit of wiggle room time. Okay, so let's use some of these diamond sparkles. And I think what I'm going to do is just pop one there, and there, and there, and there, and then we really do want 1 or 3 more. So what I'm going to do is just where those little berries are. There are 4 berries, but I'm only going to get 3 little gems on there. So you will pop that on there, or you could just pop 1. Actually, let's see what that looks like. No, I do like them up there. And pop those up there, and that's going to finish our card. So let's pop those there. So that is our Dutch fold card. So opens in and up. If you have got the insert and you wanted to turn this into a card to put a gift voucher in, if you just put a piece of decorative card along here, just glue it along those edges, and you'll be able to tuck the gift card in, money, you know, or any other little things like that. But that is our card number 1, and I'm just going to get set up for card number 2. Okay, so for card number 2, I thought I'd do another one of these little A2 ones that a lot of people have been asking for lately. And since this set is perfect for, it's got the smaller toppers on it, I think it'd be perfect for that. I thought it might be fun to have a little play with another one. So I've just taken some of that 6 by 12 and I've cut it down to 4 1/4 by 11. And I'm going to score that at 5 1/2. Like so. Let's just give that a good burnish down. And then what I wanted to do was to make a little easel card, a little side one. So I was struggling to think of the name there. So what I'm going to do, so what I want is to score across the middle. And just to make sure I've got my score going the right way, what I'm doing is just checking, I just check in which way I need to score, and I believe that is the way I need to go. So just going from the corner of that score to the corner of my card, and then we can just come in, pop that down, and then we've got our little easel there. So let's come in with our little burnishing tool, and even though, because it's a rectangle, it will fold over strange, it will go in a normal A2 envelope. Obviously, just hopefully it's going to have a little bit of room just to be able to get those pieces on. But I need to be aware that everything has to stay within this base. Okay, so let's bring in my trimmer. I've got a gold A4 piece, and I'm going to start by cutting one piece to 1/8 under 4 1/4, or 2 notches under 4 1/4, and 2 notches under 5 1/2, because that is going to be my base, like so. And then we need to do that again, but this time I'm going to do it at 4 by 5 1/4. Just that extra little bit of space seems to make diagonal pieces fit better together. And then what I'm going to do is just cut that straight down, corner to corner, and then that piece, oops, if we bring that in, that should fit nicely onto there. Just try that piece. Maybe that piece is a little better. Yep, happy with that. We can save that in case we want to make another little card like this way. And then I think we'll go 4 and 2 notches, and there, and 5 1/4, and there, and that is going to be our base. Remembering, of course, you can come in and I've not cut that right. Why have I not cut that right? Should be 4 inches, apologies. 4 inches. There we go. So 4 by 5 1/4, and that's going to be our base there. Now I have got some choices, so what I can do is either cut another piece out of here, or I can grab something else, but I think what I'll do is I will do it from here. So this piece we did at 4 inches, didn't we? Yeah. So I'm going to go to 3 3/4, and that is going to be by, that's going to be by 5. Again, all of these pieces you can be saving, mats and things. And if you didn't want to cut into all of this cardstock, what you could do is use your little books, you do a design pads, you could use plain cardstock. Hindsight, plain cardstock probably would have been better. Let's just grab, have I cut this the wrong way? Oh no, I have. Okay, so what I've done, and this is a lesson really, because I cut my gold that side down and then I cut my paper right side up, the only side that's going to fit is going to be the wrong side. So not to worry, what I can do, I say not to worry, it's a pain in the bum, isn't it, when you do something like that, but what I can do is I can stick that back together, border over there when I make another card, so all is not lost with that. But what I will do is just grab a piece of plain cardstock instead, which I did say, didn't I, see that it would look better, which is probably just God's way of saying do it plain. So hold on a second, I'm just going to grab some plain cardstock. Okay, so I've cut another piece that is 3 3/4 by 5, and then remembering to turn it over just so we've got the same angle, and then we can go corner to corner. So I left that in just to show you. It's a teaching point. Okay, so I found this sort of bit from in my bit box, which is just a little bit of caramel, and it's exactly the same colour more or less as that. So, and then I did think, oh, maybe the topper wouldn't show up so well, the one that I'm using, but I'm using the redder one, so it's going to be fine. So that's going to be our piece from there. I could go ahead and emboss on there, but a lot of it's going to be hidden, so I'm not going to. But if you want to take it that little bit of extra, then you could. So let's just pop this into place. Again, just using those 2 glues. And these in. And on. And then again, just making sure I'm gluing it onto the right place, since we've already had one mishap today. One is enough per video. Pop that into place there. That one into place there. And I haven't said it for a while, so I will just say, with the all-purpose glue, if you are using that, just be super careful with it around the gold mirror, because it can take the sheen off it if it gets onto it. But that's our little decorated card there. So the topper I thought I'd use is this really red background one, so that's why it's going to really stand up against our piece here. I think I'm going to bring in our little gift as a stopper maybe, and then maybe Christmas Cuddles. We'll bring that red one out just in case. Let's see how we get on from there. Now the other thing I did, let me just trim those pips. The other thing I did is I went through, I have now a little box, or a little bag actually, that I've been putting all of the discarded frames in. So I'm trying to come up with ideas to use them, because I do seem to have a lot that I'm not using, and it does seem like a shame. I'm sure I could make a pattern out of them if I tried. But the ones that I found, this one with the little red line around it came out of the last Christmas set I did, I believe. And then I just found a slightly smaller circle one there as well. And so let's pop these to the side. And then remembering what I said earlier about making sure I don't go over the real estate of the card. So I want to stay within that. I am going to be using my tacky glue. Let me just grab, it's quite pippy this one. Let's just tidy those up. Some of them won't matter because they will be hidden, but what I'm going to do is just pop a little bit of tacky glue around the edge. So these are all going flat apart from that last one. What I'm going to do, just pop a little bit of glue there. And again with this one we're going flat. This one's going to go over the top. And then this one we're going to grab some 2mm foam pads. It's going to come down in this corner. So I'm just going to put some foam pads there. And we'll use our purple glue stick. And then we're just going to hide that join there. Pop that over. We have got our Christmas Cuddles. I'm not sure where I'm going to put that yet. But I want this gift to go on the bottom as a stopper. So again, I'm going to use some 2mm foam pads, 2 of those this time, because that's going to be what's keeping the card up. I might swap this out, this sentiment out for festive wishes, but let's see. So I want that to go around about there, I think. Could come over there, just figuring out where I want that one to go. And just lift that up a second. Okay, so what I'm going to do is bring this down. Just going to pop a little bit of tacky glue there and there. Just a nice amount. Then I'm going to pop that over. And we'll let that settle on there. So that's going to be the card as it is at the second. If you've got any other, that looks like it's sliding a little, let's just pop that down nice and straight. If you've got any little other little circle toppers, or even if you wanted to take some of this cardstock and cut a little circle with your dies, then a little bit of gold maybe, you could then, you know, put it on with a little satellite going round sort of thing. But let's bring in some gems, and I'm going to go with these little pearl ones. Stand up. And I think we will just have, let's go with this size, I think it's going to be a good size. 1, 2, no, that's 4, can't count. I'm just going to pop these in those corners. Like I say, you could always come in and emboss this if you wanted it to be a little bit more decorative. I would recommend if you've got the magazine, I think it's magazine 79, that had a lovely embossing folder in, which is this one, which is my favourite Christmas one. That would look cute on there as well. And also, because the words go in different ways, you can have it sort of different orientations. That's the word I'm looking for. So that is that one. So let's just pop that up. So there we've got our little easel card. Super cute. You have got space inside to write, or you could put an insert on the back if you wanted to. That is our card number 2, using up some of those frames, which I don't know if you're like me, but I've got rid of 2 of them on a card, so I'm quite happy. But yeah, so that is card number 1. Let's bring that in. You come around that way. And our little A2 card number 2. So next time I'm going to be coming back again with this one. So we have got lots left, even though I did cut that one into quarters. I could still use this small topper on there, like I say, by joining that together with a border of some kind, even, you know, something like colour, or even if you've got any of the foiled strips, the parchment strips, anything like that. So I've still got that big one there, I've got that smaller one, I've got a Bear Hugs from Me to You and Festive Wishes. I've got that foiled border on there, so that's a decent size. That could be a DL card, or indeed another A2. And then I've also got the image as well. So possibility to get at least another 3 out of there, depending on whether I add in some more cardstock or not. You know, not foiled, embossed cardstock, the adorable scorable through an embossing folder. You know, it looks lovely, so don't think that it would be plain if you just use that with an embossing folder, because it absolutely still looks gorgeous. But that's it for today. So I will be back again with this collection. So that's the Cutest Christmas collection, and I'm going to be making another 2 videos on that. So we'll work our way through 2 more of the topper sets. But thank you so much for watching. Have a great weekend, and until next time, happy crafting. Bye.